Some of you may remember when we went to the San Vitale Shipyard in Ravenna to visit Rosetti Superyachts. At the time, they were building their very first custom superyacht, a 38-meter steel and aluminium explorer vessel. Well, that yacht has been delivered. She's called Emotion, and she's making her international debut at the 2021 Cannes Boat Show. And we're going to pick up the story from where we left off last time.
But first, here's a quick recap. The yacht is 38.15 meters long, with a beam of 8.85 meters, and is rated at 432 gross tons. The exterior design and naval architecture is by Sergio Cutolo of Hydrotech, and she has a round-bilge displacement hull. Power comes from twin-man engines for a top speed of 13 knots and a cruising speed of 10 or 11 knots.
Rosetti Superyachts may be a new brand, but it can draw on almost 100 years of shipbuilding experience as part of the Rosetti Marino Group, a key Italian player in the construction of offshore platforms and supply vessels. Reliability was very high on the list of priorities for the owners, and they chose to build with the shipyard precisely because that commercial experience is ideally suited to building a rugged vessel designed to travel for long distances in possibly adverse conditions.
La Rosetti Superyacht può trarre vantaggio da questa esperienza del gruppo Rosetti.
Rosetti Superyacht can benefit from the experience of the Rosetti Marino Group in a number of ways. The first is in regard to the facilities. We have a very large shipyard in the port of Ravenna with 10,000 square meters of warehouses and 100,000 square meters of space for building these types of vessels. After that, there is the support and know-how of the project management. Timing is essential in the offshore world, so we know very well how to manage a construction project. Last but not least, I would also say the quality aspects. We want to bring great quality to the world of superyachts and to our superyachts.
Now, I know what you're thinking. Emotion doesn't look like an explorer yacht, and you'd be absolutely right. There's no open aft deck for tenders and toys with huge cranes on show, but appearances can be deceiving because she has huge spaces, around 700 square meters in total, and her gross tonnage is more typical of larger yachts. So plenty of space and volume for storage and tankage for long journeys without having to refuel or reprovision. In fact, at an economical 10 knots, she has a range of 5,000 nautical miles. So in terms of functionality and performance, she ticks all the right explorer boxes. Stepping inside, the main salon was just an empty shell when we went aboard during construction at the shipyard, and I must say that the interior renderings I saw then don't do justice to the final result. Finally, we get to see the finished product.
Finally, right. You might remember the yard last time we saw each other was just an empty shell.
That's right, yeah.
And now you can see the final thing, our first baby. So with the conversation area here,
Yep.
then we have a cabinet on port side and this huge wine cellar at starboard side.
I remember you talking about the wine cellar with the mirrored ceiling, so it looks like it's on 2 floors. And this is between the 2 ventilation shafts for the engine room, yeah?
Correct.
Okay.
Great
Fantastic.
memory. Up to 150 bottles. I haven't counted them yet, but maybe they're a little bit more.
Maybe it's more than
Yeah,
150.
yeah. Then we have this dining area here with a sliding door at both sides to get ventilation, fresh air.
Sea breeze, yep.
And the staircase with the piece of art. Moving forward, they had owner's cabin with the fixed balcony at starboard side, while here on port side we have the galley.
The interior concept is by Burdisso Caponi Yachts and Design, a local design firm based in Ravenna.
Il progetto nasce dalla stretta collaborazione con gli armatori.
The project was born from a close collaboration with the owners. Right from the start, they clearly expressed their needs, both functional and aesthetic. They had very clear ideas in terms of style and design.
Chiedevano che le scale, la lobby, fosse il fulcro del progetto. Noi abbiamo cercato di valorizzare.
They wanted the stairs and the lobby to be the main focus of the project. We tried to make the most of their request by creating a totally free-floating staircase. There are no handrails, but there are glass panels to make it even more aerial. The steps are also made of a series of overlapping volumes. A sculpture has been placed near the staircase, again at the request of the owner, a piece by Giacinto Bosco.
This is the open atrium that Francesca was talking about, with this plate glass window integrated into the floor, which allows natural light to filter down from the skylight above me, through the upper deck, through the main deck and down to the lower deck. In terms of guest accommodation, we have this airy master suite on the main deck forward with a private study, walk-in wardrobe, his and her bathrooms, and on the lower deck we have 4 ensuite guest cabins, 2 doubles and 2 twin singles. But one of the highlights of the master stateroom is this. The Sky Lounge on the upper deck is basically a chill-out zone, with these lounging sofas, a huge flat-screen TV, this games table, and opposite a bar unit cum pantry. The tender is stowed on the open aft deck and has its own custom-designed crane. And on the foredeck there's an open-air dinette and a big sun pad that can be shaded by an awning.
There is a small beach club in the transom, but the main open-air social areas are either on the foredeck or up here on the sun deck, where we have a hot tub forward, this huge bar unit with barbecue, dining facilities for a full complement of guests, of course, and the owners chose to have some workout gear up here as well. Literally a gym with a view.
The nerve centre of a super yacht, if you like, is the wheelhouse, and as you'd expect from a shipyard accustomed to building working vessels, it's a good size and the layout is super functional, with both a ship's office and the captain's cabin within easy reach of the bridge. This commercial shipbuilding experience is even more apparent in the technical areas that the guests never get to see. So in the bow section, we have a dedicated laundry and a bosun's store. There's extra cold and dry storage in the crew quarters on the lower deck. The engine room is laid out so that all the main machinery is easily accessible for maintenance. And there's an inspection tunnel on the under lower deck for accessing the stabilizer compartments and fuel tanks.
The hull form is a result of 25 years of experience. 15 of them are mainly in the Explorer activities, in the Explorer range. So here we reached really a very good balance concerning performance, fuel consumption, and also seakeeping. We had the chance to go out with a boat in a rough sea, with a Bora in Ravenna. And in the Adriatic Sea you can also find some tough conditions, and the boat was performing very well with the owner on board and classification society, everything.
As Rossetti Superyacht's first yacht project, Emotion shows what the brand is capable of. And it's not just a question of the rugged construction or attention to technical details. It's the way they manage the whole industrial process, and that's definitely something that comes from the parent company, Rossetti Marino. And they're confident that they're onto a winner, because Rossetti Superyachts recently announced that they're about to start construction of a sister ship to Emotion.